Does it work though? Weird. I wonder if it worked this time, but it don't. Jesus, man. Ah. God, there's such a delay, man. While I'm watching. Right, is this working? Oh, what a palaver. A right old palaver this is. It's the one watching me. Hi. Robot. Can you hear me, Robot? Am I coming through all right? So I'm having a bit of a problem trying to do this live. Yes, is it? So you can see, you can hear, it's all clear enough. I can hear you. Oh, brilliant. Cheers, mate. Well, this started off, I did do a stream a minute ago and it just, for some reason, it wasn't working. But anyway, the idea, dude, I hope you're well, first of all. Thanks for popping in. I just sat there and I just thought to myself, I'm just going to go live for an hour and I'm going to post it as question time and give people the opportunity, if they want to, of course, to ask me stuff about my journey. If they want to, or share stuff, we can have a chat in the chat. Yeah, just pass an hour by, something different really. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good Sunday. At least it's coming through now, which is really cool. Really cool indeed. Really cool indeed. What have you been up to? You've been up to much? How's life treating you? How's your journey going, mate? All good? Hopefully. I haven't got a lot of confidence in this stream, actually. Still, I'll be patient. So if anyone wants to ask me anything about my journey, feel free. This is the time to do it. Oh, God. Oh, I got a cold. Oh, that's not good, mate. There's a lot of it going around at the moment. It's that time of year, isn't it? Just before winter. Lots of sneezing, people putting their heating on. All the bugs are going indoors, searching out a bit of warmth. They find us, unfortunately. I wish you well, because it is a pain in the backside. They really are. And if you're doing a manual job, it's even worse. Even worse. How you getting on with your stacking journey, robot? A strange time, isn't it? Strange time for us all. Very strange. Is there anybody there? Who else we got in the room? There's someone else in the room. There's somebody in the room, other than me and Robot. Come and say hi, hi. And someone else popped in the room as well. Come and say hi, hi. God, this is CPM on World Crazy. Still worried. I'm going to see a repeat of 2011. I still have a few bits I bought at the height of that. Oh, wow. When you say worried, though, what do you actually mean? Are you worried of the consequences of what appears to be happening? Or are you worried about what you've done and whether you're going to capitalise on it or you're going to not capitalise on it? Yeah, it'd be interesting to know if you want to share it, of course. Whilst you're sneezing and blowing your nose, probably. If anyone else wants to say hi, please say hi. We don't bite in here. I don't bite anyway. That's for sure. Wow, there must be some sort of big delay on this. We'll be patient though. Very, very patient. It's kind of cool when a few more people interact. Hint, hint, please. Come on, people must have some questions. If stuff will drop below what I paid for it, so if I need to sell, I'll lose money. Yeah, mate, that's a lot of people's fears at the moment, isn't it? It's so frustrating. So frustrating. Diaxis, thanks for dropping in, mate. Much appreciated. Yeah, Diaxis, just thought I'd do a live. The first attempt was awful. But yeah, just doing just a chat in the studio, really. Got a couple of pieces out, nothing flamboyant. Just a chance for people to interact a little bit. And if they want to ask me anything, they can. That's why I've called it Question Time with CPM. So feel free, if you've got any questions you want to ask me, go for it. But yeah, thanks, Robot, for posting that in SS. That's really cool and kind of you. So yeah, oh God, mate, it's a nightmare, isn't it? The marketplace. although it's, you know, to me, since I've been in this game, it's always been I've always seen it as a bit of a nightmare trying to gauge what to do, what not to do. It's a difficult one, man. It is a really difficult one, and there's just no real answer other than, you know, having a go and try to improve. It all depends what all of us individually are trying to get out of whatever we're doing. But it does make it hard. It does make it hard. But you got to have a bit of faith, I guess. We can't get it all right after time. We can't. Where do I think silver is heading? Good question. That's been a topic of conversation in my household for a little while now. First of all, personally, I'm not sure. I've been expecting it to take a little bit of a drop. That's par for the course. The recent drop on Friday, I think it was sort of about the same range as what happened on Tuesday, I believe. Or was it Tuesday this week? Roughly about the same percentage drop. But that's to be expected, I guess. There's some people out there, institutions, groups, whatever, individuals that have a hell of a lot of money. And for some reason, I was talking about it in my blog yesterday. For some reason, in their infinite wisdom, they sell a block. But that said, it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow when all the markets open again, the silver and gold markets open again tomorrow. See what happens tomorrow. Then I'll probably wait until Tuesday, because I always like to give it 24 hours. Tuesday's a really good sign of where things will be heading forward. A lot of people would have had a lot of time to think over the weekend. It's the big money that makes all the moves. It isn't us, the small money. Selling a few ounces of silver is not going to make the slightest bit of difference. But when you look at that whole, or when I personally look at that whole situation with silver, it's exciting if you're a stacker, if you've been collecting, if you have silver in any way, shape or form. Obviously, because we look at price primarily, unfortunately, but that's the world we live in. But so that can be exciting, but to have these sort of crazy increases built around a very unstable global economic situation, it does make me wonder whether we are going to, if things keep deteriorating, if things that we all keep thinking and talking about come to fruition, then there's going to be a flight to precious metals until that situation's sorted out. So there's a very good possibility that it's going to steadily go up. At what velocity, I don't know, but I may be completely wrong, but I don't know. It just feels, with the economic conditions, if this is really the beginning of the downfall of all of our fiat currencies, then silver, I know gold's the big one, but silver's going to be, there's going to be interest in it for people to store some value. So price-wise, where it can go, what worries me really is the higher it goes, the more it means that probably our currencies are devaluating at a higher rate as well. So yeah, it's one of those really. It's one of those patience things, and see what happens. But I suppose if I was at the moment, I would wreck it at a 70% continuation to the upside, 30% possibly it might correct, but I can't see why. For the life of me, I can't think of, if anyone wants to escape silver at a great profit, what they're going to put their money into at this moment in time. So I'm not sure that's going to happen, but who knows? I don't know. We'll see. We will see for sure. It's such a hard one, but we are in that position now. Diaxis, what did you put? I was hoping for a dip so I can buy a little more, but all just went mental over the last few weeks. It did, yeah, and that's one big sell. If where are we now? Well, we're about £38, aren't we? After Friday, 37, £38 an ounce spot price. You know, for that to drop 10%, that's massive. For us to get back to that £28 mark, £27 mark, I just can't see that happening yet, unless someone's come up with a miraculous way of saving our currencies somehow. I really don't know. They can print like there's no tomorrow. Obviously, you've heard all of those stories and narratives, but that's going to just totally obliterate the idea of bringing inflation down. It's really interesting times. It really is. I mean, I don't think anyone really knows, but it's kind of cool. One thing is really cool, and we can pat ourselves on the backs, is at least we've got something in there, which is better than not. So Diaxis, I don't know, you might get a dip, but it might not be as much as what we think it would be, or hope it to be. Coin new Griffey boy, hello matey. Just having a bit of a chat. You beat me to it. Oh, do go live afterwards. I'll if you want to go live, mate. I'll stay on till about 2, and then you go live, mate, and we'll all come and crash your party if you want. No worries, dude. Yeah, if you want to go, mate, then just let me know in a little while and I'll come off and we'll all come over to yours. It's not a problem. I just wanted to try something different. The first attempt didn't seem to work, but the second attempt, it seemed to have worked, and I got some interaction really going. And I called this one Sunday Question Time with CPM, so if people want to talk about anything, but it's interesting. Robots already brought up, you know, what a lot of people are thinking about what's going to happen to the price. Diaxis, yeah, he's looking for a dip so he can get in a little bit more. I was looking at trying to get a sovereign, but just keeps going up. Last time I looked, it was around 780. It's incredible, that. It's absolutely madness. It seems to be running away from us normal people anyway. Dude, I like it. I like it when you're live. It's really cool. It's really cool. But yeah, chasing that gold now is becoming, yeah, quite. It's fascinated me to see how quick this has happened. If you go over my journey and on my last video, or most of my videos, especially my earlier videos, me and Kobe, we used to talk about all the time that. And a lot of people talk about, you know, the end, the reset, the death of the dollar, the death of the pound, the death of fiat currencies. But I kind of, like I was emphasising yesterday, I kind of always thought to myself, it wouldn't be as quick, but all of a sudden this year, it's almost as if, and who knows, we don't know, it's almost as if that's it. Bond market can't take it anymore. You can't keep on printing. Confidence is going in the currencies, and people have had enough. And then you've got this great thing going on between East and West globally. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. Fascinating. And how you position yourself in all of this. yeah, how you can position yourself in all of this is a real challenge. I'm finding it a challenge, but kind of enjoying it a little bit. I've really held back on a lot. Until my confidence grows, and then maybe I can do a little bit more, but then I probably can't be doing too much because the price of everything's gone through the roof. So I'm looking at alternatives, see if there are any alternatives out there. Yeah, it's incredible time. It's an incredible time, and it's tough. It really is tough. Oh, what are they? I'm picking up those Cardiff 1000 full gold shapes. That's all I can afford with gold. Probably all I can afford with gold as well, mate. What are they? I didn't know they existed. I don't even know what they are, Griff, to be honest. Sound interesting. Carded foil gold shapes. Who makes those, mate? So yeah, it's a bloody tough one. Okie dokie. It is a real tough one, and I suppose this is all part of the big challenge that we're all as individuals facing now. What do we do? Do we sit tight? Do we not? You know, there's always that temptation to sell, make a profit, whatever that profit is. But what do you do with the money? Unless you go out, unless you've got something specifically to spend it on. If you want to reinvest it, what do you reinvest it in at these in these times? You know, so many questions. Or just blow it on a holiday. Maybe. I don't know. It's just maybe a year ago I could have probably talked a little bit more openly about what I'm thinking of doing, but for me personally, it's just don't know. Never been in this position before. Never, never, never. Ah, cheers, Griff. Thank you. I'm actually streaming on that phone at the moment, so I can't look at it, but I'll have a look afterwards. Yeah, thanks, mate. I just see it pop up. I'm not sure. Do you know if I swipe off the stream and look at the picture and then come back onto the stream, it doesn't kill it? I don't know. Haven't got a clue. Shall I try it? Well, better not, because I'll probably blow it up. Yeah, Diaxis, Matt, it's mad. And there's so, and it makes it even more confusing because there's so many influencers online saying, do this, do that, do this, do that. And yeah, it's just, you've got mints going mad. You've got the Perth Mint. Has anyone seen the videos of people queuing up outside the Perth Mint? Trying to buy. So there's a lot of FOMO out there. Crazy times, man. Absolutely crazy times. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens next. Should be okay. Okay, I'll try it. Oh my God. It don't seem to be working, dude. Yeah. I can't seem to swipe it off. Don't know. I'm not going to mess about with it, Griff. I'll have a look afterwards, dude. Sorry. Yeah. Anyone else got any other questions? Yeah, I can't. I don't know, mate. I can't seem to swipe it off. It won't let me for some reason. But I'm not going to push the button. There's all sorts of buttons on here, dude, and I don't know what they do. So I'm going to leave it for now. But thanks anyway. I'll have a look afterwards. It's interesting. Anyone got any other questions they'd like to explore? £15, blimey. Where are you getting them from then, mate? It's a cheap way of getting a bit of gold, isn't it, still? I don't know, it's cheap. I don't know how does that work out, premium-wise? It's funny, isn't it? Do you know what makes me chuckle a little bit? And that's dealers, sellers, creators, creative people find a way in all sorts of circumstances to keep the money coming out of our pockets and going into stuff. I mean, I can't even believe that even a year ago I would have been talking about a 1,000th, was it 1,000th of an ounce you were saying? Let's have a look. A 1,000th piece of gold. Wouldn't have even been talking about that a year ago, but here we are today. It's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts. I just can't get over what's going on. Oh, that's cool, Griff, if it's doubled. It all helps. Oh, it's crazy, but it's a novelty. Yeah, man. I was talking about it yesterday. It's mad when you think wasn't that long ago. I think silver as spot has gone up 100% since maybe even April this year. Which that's a story. That is silver telling us something. Yeah, I guess they will do, Griff. But that's people, isn't it? And it doesn't matter whether it's silver, gold, toilet roll, or certain stuff. When there's a bit of a crazy FOMO thing going on, there's people just trying to get as much fiat as they can out of you, and it's nuts. It's mad. It is really mad. And I hear you, not paying over £50 for a Brit. I'm happy with where I am at the moment, and that's where I am as well, dude. I'm really happy where I am at the moment. That said, that's because I'm in that position, which gets me on to sort of what I was talking about yesterday. And you know what would I do if I wanted to start off now? And I guess that's why I've just put out that one silver coin, one silver ounce Brit, a very small piece of gold and a penny on my display. And I guess just having one bit doesn't harm. But the days of, unless everyone starts earning tons more money, that ain't going to happen anytime soon, very quickly, then the days that I've enjoyed being able to stack are so different for the young people nowadays, or anyone wanting to start. So different, so different. £50. I think on Atkinson's they were almost £60 Thursday, Wednesday last week, something like that, which is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It's craziness, absolutely craziness. But it is what it is, and I'm sure there'll be people in all sorts of areas across the internet taking advantage of that, panicking people. But that always happens. It always happens. And hopefully my little messages and other people's messages can get out there and people can go, just chill out a little bit and realise that the money's precious and they need to spend it very wisely at the moment. And sometimes that is just sitting back and chilling and just letting what happens happens. Yeah, man. I'm the same. I'll be honest. I'm going to be really honest here. I see more value at this moment in time. It's a personal opinion, and I've never hidden this. There's more value at the moment if you trust the system to buy an ETF in silver or gold than buying the actual physical. That's for sure. Oh, you have not got the 2008 Cook, have you? I'll give you £40 for it, Griff. I love that coin. I haven't got it. I'll give you 40. Actually, I'll give you 50 if you sold it to me. Is it in good nick? That's a solid price, man. That is a really solid price for that coin. That's crazy cool. Craig, well done you for getting that. And well done Bo for getting, like, giving it to you for that sort of money. That's for sure. But yeah, that for me at the moment, I had the paper version, and I know there's a big story behind that, and I know lots of people got lots of opinions about it. But paper for me is my go-to silver at the moment. Yeah, man, it is. I just offered him £50 for it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I hear you, Griff. Yeah, yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, horses for courses, man. And that's a very sensible, wise move. Maybe I'm a little bit more risky. I do my homework. But that is a risk. And I don't put all my eggs in one basket personally. But as an alternative, it's not a bad alternative if you trust, if you're prepared to trust that sort of system. But it's a good way of getting close to spot. Well, it has been for me and my son anyway. Yeah, a bit of a premium. That's amazing. £39. Go on, you can let it go, Griff. It's got a couple of marks on it, but can't moan at that price. Okay, I'll reduce it down to 45 now then. I wouldn't let that go. It's such a pretty cook, and with the spider's web, it's very nice indeed. I'm jealous. Very, very jealous. What else? Anyone else got any other questions they want to ask? On Sunday question time. Sunday question time. 39 pounds. Wicked. I'll sell it to you on the 36. Yeah, I thought you might say that, dude. Yeah, I didn't think you'd get rid of it, Chris. I don't blame you, to be fair. Robot, yeah, trust is something. There's a big shortage of at the moment, though. Yeah, for sure, man. It's I'm keeping a speedy eye on what I'm doing and my family's doing, and I think that's half the battle. I'm hoping that that risk part of my investment will keep going up, but I'm sure I can't say too much, but I'm sure I'll be able to. The nice thing about it is I can get out of the press of a button if the system allows me to do it, if I'm quick enough. Yeah, yeah, it's a funny one, really. I mean, it never. I'm a big self-sovereignty boy, but yeah, I don't personally want to just sit still and rely on that. I like to open up me any type of opportunities, all risk assessed, I must admit. But yeah, hopefully we can get out at some point very quickly. It's in a tax-free ISA, so it's really cool. And then move that into something else, hopefully. Hopefully. But we'll see, you know, I've got to try. I mean, we've all got to trust something. We're all tied to the banks and everything to a degree, I presume. Most people are still. Well, I'm sure everyone is. So there's got to be a relative of trust, but it's just a small. It's like anything. All my eggs are never in one basket. That's for sure. That's a big thing I've learned over time, and you know, I weigh up more now than ever before. Although I'm not perfect, far from it. I do weigh up the risk on what we do, and that to me makes sense. It's certainly on paper very paid off, but that's on paper. It's never really paid off until we get out. But I suppose I'm not crapping myself about it at this moment, but I do keep a close eye on everything that's going on. That's for sure. Could be a new thing. Sunday question time with CPM. Yeah, I think I'll probably do it every week, mate, really, to be fair. If I get 5 minutes, you know, just midday for an hour, I'll just have a bit of a chit chat. To be fair, with my 2-ounce stackers, I was paying £65 each 2 years ago, and considering the spot was more than double since then, I'm still picking them up for 90 to 100 range, which is great value for them. Ah, man, I'm glad you brought that up, Griff, because I was talking to Cobra yesterday afternoon, and it dawned on me, funny enough, I had a question that I hadn't really looked at, and that's there's always been a premium on collectibles, you know, not yeah, collectible silver coins, silver bars, whatever. And I said to him, I said, oh, I've got a quick question for you. Are the premiums going up along with spot, or are those premiums staying the same? Because if that's the case, like you've just emphasised, then collectibles, stackers, whatever, are worth looking at until people start jumping on that bandwagon. But Cobra was of the same opinion. He said, yeah, it's quite interesting that the premiums haven't gone up at the same rate as bullion spot price, as the spot price. So that could be an interesting way of getting a better value, and maybe getting something different. So I'm glad you brought that up. Glad you brought up. Great one. Diet says, what ticker is that? I did have a quick look into it the other day, and there's a whole heap of different ones. Okay, I never give out exactly what I invest in, but the only ones of that type that I use is BlackRock's ETF. Purely, and the only logic behind that is that maybe that's a lot of a risk in going into a massive institution like that. That was my way of thinking. So yeah, if you look at the BlackRock ETF, well, it's not an ETF, I think it's an ETN in this country. Yeah, it might be worth looking at. Might be worth looking at. Be, I would say that just be very careful and do some research, and just with, like people were saying, just make sure whoever you use that you're limiting your risk, that they're quite a well-established company and well known, and just keep an eye on it. Yeah, that's all I can say really. But yeah, I used the BlackRock's Silver Spot ETF for that personally. But I'm sure there's others out there. Did you see my Arc de Triomphe yesterday? Stunning. No, I didn't, dude. But I will do a bit later on today. Thank you for letting me know. They're crazy. I love those stackers. They really are. And what it is, I think the premium on stackers is pretty good. Yeah, man. We were just talking about it generally, Griff. And, you know, it's up to me to get on and do a little bit of research and homework really, and have a look around. But I did wonder how premium collectible silver was standing up, whether the prices were being pushed up relative to spot going up. But Cobra seemed to think, as a rule, no at this moment in time. So. And Robot says, in some cases, premiums are collapsing. Collectible prices are staying the same while spot is rising. So yeah, so if you're ever thought about maybe getting more on the collectible side, maybe that'd be worth it. But who knows? None of us know. None of us know. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's not a bad index to get into. 18% up. I've always, this is an interesting one, I personally strive for 10 to 14% return, annual return on my investments as a rule. And if I can average my portfolio, sounds really dickish to say that, but I'm going to say it, if I can average over 14% a year, I'm doing well. And so far so good. I'm well above that at the moment. If you're not doing that, then your purchasing power that you're putting into, your time and energy that you're putting into those assets are losing against inflation, and definitely against money debasement, devaluing of our currency. So that's a good one to strive for. If you look at it, 10 to 14%, you want to try and beat that, and then you might have a chance of actually really preserving your purchasing power. But it's a game. It's a real game, and you need to be on it. You need to be on it. That's for sure. So 18%, fair play, man. But you should do with the Vanguard All World one. Yeah, 18% is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. You compound that over a period of time, but we don't know whether that's going to happen, obviously. But for argument's sake, that's bloody good, especially for the youngsters. Imagine like being 18 and having an 18% compound growth rate, CAGR, over 30 years. Nice, man. And you're adding to it all the time. Only a little bit. Only a little bit. The youngsters really, 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 really need to get their heads around certain stuff if they want to. That's for sure. Certainly do a lot better than me, my age. And my son's proving that big time now at the moment. But we're still all in the hands of the old chessboard, aren't we? Because it could all change. But so far so good. 18%, that's really great. Well done you. Well done you. Very well done. So question then, if all the world's currencies are tanking and getting swapped over to digital currency, how do you think that affect the stock markets in the future? Wow, bloody hell, that's a good question. There's a hell of a lot of talk of tokenizing everything, Diaxis. You might be aware of that one. That's been spoken about. It's a big thing that Larry Fink has been talking about for quite a few years now. A lot of the big boys, when I say big boys, the ones that probably control all the frigging markets, have been talking about tokenizing for ages now, and sticking everything on the blockchain. So I think the stock market will just evolve, and I don't know how we're going to measure our whatever we're going to use for purchasing in the future. I have no idea what that's going to be. I know what I'd like it to be, but I have no idea what it's going to be. But they're going to figure it out. They've got to figure it out, and it's going to take a little while. But when these very powerful institutions talk about certain things and have been talking about them for a while, they've got time on their side, obviously, because the institution's far bigger than the people. So that doesn't worry me really, because however things are going to be valued in the future, you know, it's all going to be part of that electronic setup, that digital setup. So they will find a way, and they're probably already finding a way and piloting it and testing it out and trying it out. But there's a lot of big banks talking about it now. Yeah, I think that the stock market, as long as there's companies around and people want to invest in companies going forward in the future, then it'll just be done digitally, and it will just change naturally. And what I like about, my son often talks about this. He says, Dad, like, let's just look at the possibility of the outcome if this happens. And then if that's the case, is it not worth putting a small percentage into and effort into investing in that outcome? And he's dead right. He's dead right. It's not something that maybe I'm going to majorly capitalise on at my time of life, but we still will. But for him, that's what he should be thinking about. He should be thinking about how, you know, how things will run if we do go full digital. The stock market would just be measured in whatever it's going to be measured in, but it'd just be digital, more digital, running around on blockchains. And yeah, that's really exciting when you really start thinking about the possibility of that, because that's when you can start getting into early investment, into possible rails that could travel on digitally, find out who's on top of their game there, who's innovating that space. That's the forward thinking that makes me excited for me and my family, and especially for my sons, and my daughter. So instead of ignoring it, when it's personally, instead of me just ignoring it, I just try and educate myself on it really, and just see if it is a possibility. And then you get to that chance where you're left with a choice, and you think, okay, is it worth having a little punt on there? Is it worth moving your portfolio around so you move it into that risk, or just stay comfortable, you know? But it is interesting. I don't believe that the way things that have always been done will change. They'll always be the same, but the way we do it will change. And that's where the alpha is, I think, at the moment. If you can dig into, you know, learning about that space, you might see opportunity. But it's exciting. Unless we're not going to have that anymore. Unless we're not going to have big companies anymore. But I can't see that personally. If not, we're just going to go backwards. Maybe that's the case, I don't know, but I can't see it. But they find a way of tokenizing it all and moving it around, and instead of buying shares in, they might call it something else, but it'd be the same thing, but it'd be denominated in totally something different, that's all. Yeah, man, you got to compare it to gold. It ain't doing very well at all, Griff. It Yeah, it's struggling for sure. That's for sure. Robot, there would be a lot of resistance in putting stocks on blockchain. There's a lot of money in renting servers as close as possible to the exchange to high frequency traders. Not quite sure what you mean there, dude. Yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do, man. There's a lot of talk about it, but I don't know. Crikey, it's such a technology that I don't understand. I just try to fathom out how in my stupid brain could it look, and you know, I always compare most of this to the internet. I'm sure there was a hell of a lot of resistance to using the internet at some point, with people saying, "Oh, I'll write letters and what's all this email stuff," and there's a resistance to anything that changes and innovates or changes the way we do stuff. There's always resistance. But that's down to will people generally, if they see it convenient, if it makes it easier, I don't know how it would do it, but if it all made it easier and we could do things easier and whatever, then people, I think, naturally will just give in and won't be bothered, and they will just go with the flow of what they're told and what they can do. So it's interesting. Yeah, again, you know, it's you know, how much resistance have we talked about in our community about CBDCs? We might be, we could maybe resist it, but in true honesty, if we had no choice, or if everyone's doing it. But I get what you're saying, that's for sure. but I don't really understand it. I can't really talk about the technical side of those sort of stuff, robot, because I don't understand it. I don't trade anyway, so. But yeah, there may be, but big money is big money, man. There's some people and institutions out there with greater power than people with millions. We're talking about billions and trillions, and they dictate the pace, unfortunately. And if that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do. And it's down to the masses to say no, I suppose. And the only way we can say no is by not using it. But I don't know. It's a weird one. It's really interesting times. It really is. There is no right, wrong. It's just something that I've learned personally. I'm not gonna just ignore it anymore. I just, if I can, try and capitalize on something just to make things possibly better, whatever that means. I've no idea. Deutsche Bank is still my best performer, up over 1,000. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah. Some of these banks know what they're doing. That's for sure. That's for sure, man. And as Diaxa says, they had it with credit cards originally too. Yep, they did. They did indeed. Credit cards, plastic, ATMs, mobile phones. So much has gone on that has just totally changed. And yeah, it's interesting times. It really is. Benson's, how you doing? Thank you for popping in. This is question time. Actually, I've got to call it a day in a minute because we're just coming up to that hour, and I think Koinu wants to do a live as well. So I should jump off in a little while. But this is, yeah, I might do this question time with Andy on a Sunday, which would be really cool. Diak says, even if we all said no, we'll still have to accept it. Probably, mate. When they flip the switch, we have no choice. Yeah, and I think that's a cool, it's an interesting one that I've always thought about. I've always thought I was in total control over the bigger picture, but I'm not. I've realised that now. What I'm in control of is what I do at day to day at my level. And I suppose if I had a voice in whether, for argument's sake, we went total blockchain, digitalizing, tokenizing everything, and using those rails to do whatever in the future, then I wouldn't be sitting here doing this. I would be in a massive corporate position, stinkingly rich and wealthy, and part of a boys' club that I was definitely not born into. That's for sure. Because they're the ones that dictate everything that we do to a degree until the peasants have had enough. But that's another conversation. Yeah, robot, and that's exactly, you're dead right there, dude. And that's what I'm really, that's the biggest thing that I've learned since I've been stacking, investing, and that sums it all up. All we can do is work out how to take advantage of the system that exists. 100%, and that's the greatest learning curve that that's the greatest thing I can take out of my journey so far. And it's a great positive thing. It's hard work. It's not easy because many of us, and I'm just as guilty, and I've been just as guilty, just want to be told what to do. But the power is not in that. The power is in working it out and playing the game. And you get burnt in that for sure. You get lots of highs, lots of lows, but that's no different to running your own business. It's no different to doing anything yourself. You have to learn, and you have to learn sometimes the hard way. And try and improve. I love that. I absolutely love that. And I love Koinu. I have no doubt, Derek says, that whatever going to happen will be thrust upon us. at some point, for sure. I didn't particularly want the internet, but we've got it. I didn't want mobile phones. I didn't even dream about mobile. I was quite happy with having my landline on a on the wall or on the sideboard. But turned out, look at what we're doing now. We're doing all this now because we've we've embraced that technology and now using it to our advantage. So that's bang on. What we're doing is exactly what Robot's saying. Worked it out, and we're taking advantage of the system that's presented to us, and that's the key. Always the key. Yeah, for sure, man. All comes down to us. For sure, for sure, for sure. Right, that's my hour up, man. That's an hour question time. That worked. I'm going to do this. Should we do this more often? Maybe on a Sunday lunchtime-ish. And I'll let Coin Noob, now you've got to set up your thing and go live and I can sit and watch you. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, that works. Do you know the great thing about this, personally, is that just by having these sort of conversations, reading people's sensible, common sense queries, questions, opinions, makes me think, and it improves what I'm doing all the time. So I thank everybody so much for sharing that. And I'd rather do that with a few people than 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So, there's 9 people in here at the moment and there's a few people talking, and I'd rather that every day of the week. So thank you. Always. Have a good rest of the day. Over to you, Coin Noob. I shall look out for your live now. Thank you, Robot, Benson's, Daxus, everyone that's joined and taken part. Really interesting convo. Hopefully people find that interesting. And take good care of yourself. And if Coin Noob, you're going to go live? No worries, Robot. I appreciate you doing it, dude. Thank you. Yeah, do it, Griff. Do it. So I've got some work to do, so I can put my headphones in and listen to your lovely voice. Right, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much, everybody. Take good care. Have a good rest of the weekend, and go do what you got to do, and kill it. See ya. Bye.